The Chicago Bulls offseason is well underway as we keep getting details about players that may or may not be on the Bulls roster next year. Today, we got an update on Torey Craig. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into this content today, y'all. And this is very simple. This is something that if you guys have been following the show for a while, you know that I have said to expect for a while now, and that is that Torey Craig declined his player option, and that's not anything that was surprising. I think that if you're watching the writing on the wall for the Chicago Bulls this offseason, it's that a lot of the veterans are going to be gone. I'm not saying all of the veterans are going to be gone, but there's going to be a lot of veterans that are gone. Andre Drummond, Torey Craig, these are two veterans that I have expected for a while to kind of opt out of their contracts. And the fact that from Forbes magazine, so Forbes Sports, their sports section, Torey Craig is expected now to decline his player option and enter unrestricted free agency. This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. And I think that Torey Craig was a solid acquisition. And one of those type of acquisitions that you see teams that are already playoff teams kind of make to add and bolster their bench. Now, unfortunately for Torey Craig, he had some injury concerns that left him out for a large part of the season. He actually played pretty good when he was there for the Chicago Bulls. When he's coming back for injury, he really never had quite the impact that it seemed like he was shaping up to have when he initially stepped in to start for Patrick Williams. The injury happened, and we kind of know how our power forward position went after that point. But Torey Craig is a veteran in this league who has shown an ability to play next to star-level players. And because of that, he's somebody who can fit in on any type of roster. And he probably spent that 1 year in Chicago and said, hey, listen, they suck. And now with trading Alex Caruso, who was another big member of that bench, in the starting lineup because of injuries, Torey Craig, who played 53 games for the Chicago Bulls, only averaged 5.7 points per game. He did shoot the ball 39% from three-point range and 43% overall from the field. He's going to go out in the free agent market. He's probably going to join a contender. And I would not be surprised if quite a bit of contenders end up with former Bulls veterans. We already know Alex Caruso is going to be with the OKC Thunder. Andre Drummond's probably going to go to the Philadelphia 76ers. We'll see where Torey Craig goes. Honestly, Torey Craig could very well go back to the Phoenix Suns and play on that team. Or I wouldn't be surprised if a team like the Dallas Mavericks or somebody are interested in him as well. You know, when it comes down to it, Torey Craig is a veteran in this league who is a year-long role player, but he understands his role very well. And for a team with the Chicago Bulls that seem like they're going younger, it should be no surprise that Torey Craig is going to go ahead and move on, pick a different path, and join a contender again. So, you know, it is what it is, man. Like I said, I've been saying that this was probably the outcome for about a month now. Basically, since the season ended, I said that Torey Craig was probably going to opt out. Not only because he was on that partial mid-level exception, but Torey Craig can get that same money anywhere and play for a playoff caliber team, which is probably going to be best suited as well for his skill set and where he is right now in his career. Being on a semi-rebuild Chicago Bulls or going younger Chicago Bulls team, you know, he was only making $2.8 million. Like I said, with the money that Torey Craig was on, he can get that money anywhere and honestly probably can sign for more and compete for more to try to actually win a title as well. I'm not too surprised that Torey Craig, that we got this news the day after Alex Caruso was traded. I wouldn't be surprised if we hear officially that Andre Drummond's probably going to opt out soon. And the Bulls seem to be shaping up to do what a lot of people have been calling for the Bulls to do. Go younger, be bad for a little while. And like I said, everything that's a step in the Bulls getting worse as a team increases the odds of keeping the top 10 pick next year. I'm not saying that should be the only motivation, but I am saying that is what it shapes up to seem like this team is going. And so that's what it looks like. It is what it is. This one comes from Forbes Sports. You know, I always like to cite my sources. And so, hey, it kind of is what it is. I'm not surprised by this one at all, not even a little bit. This was probably the best thing. And honestly, with the young forwards that we have, and Julian Phillips, maybe even drafting another one, Patrick Williams, I like Torey Craig for what he brought as far as leadership, veteranship, things like that. But it's time for the young guys to get a go. And it's time to really see what we have in these young players, in my opinion. It seems like we're going to have a more young roster that likes to get up and run and things like that. But this is another step that at least looks like the Chicago Bulls are going to be going younger. Again, we can't say that for sure. Way too early in this offseason process to say for sure what type of roster the Chicago Bulls are going to have next season. But Torey Craig is not going to be part of that roster. So it is what it is there. You guys can continue to let me know. Let's go ahead and see a couple of guys' comments. Daryl says going young. It really does seem like that, right, bro? It seems like we're going young. New Wave says, thank goodness he's going to be gone. Excited. Hopefully we go younger. I like Torey Craig, but I get as far as the going younger aspect, I definitely understand. El Trapo, the Bulls are falling apart quickly. No, listen, I've been saying this literally since the season ended. It kind of is what it is. Tay Holland's in the building, says, I'm not mad at it. It's time for a change. Completely agree with you there. Michael Hines says, yes, now to get rid of Javon Carter. Well, unfortunately, Javon Carter's on a guaranteed deal. It's not going to be that easy, but we'll see what comes about it. If I'm okay, I would try to form the same like Chicago Bulls did in 2008 with a rookie Derrick Rose, have a little bit of veteran, but mainly let the young guys take over. We'll see if that's the case. But that team was different, right? Keep in mind, that was a team that had young guys in Kurt Conrick, Luol Deng, Ben Gordon already show what they can be in the NBA. We don't really have that. So the rookie Derrick Rose, even before we knew he was going to be an MVP caliber player, he was walking into a situation with Joakim Noah, Luol Deng, Ben Gordon, Kirk Heinrich were still on that team. Tyrus Thomas was still on that team. He got up out of there. And then we added Taj Gibson the year after that, right? So it was a kind of a different makeup of the team then. But I get overarchingly what you're getting at for sure. Giddy White, Terrence Shannon Jr., P. Will Klingon, 6-man IO. Listen, I hear what you're saying on that. I don't think I would love to hear that the Bulls are going to get Terrence Shannon Jr., but they're probably not, and we don't have 2 first-round picks. So we can't say for sure that it's going to be 2 guys in this draft. So Bulls might actually be blowing it up a little. Well, this is outside the Bulls' decision, but I think they're going to go – they're on a major retooling. Haize, folks don't want that little ass $1 million. That's hilarious. That's funny. Let's see. If they get rid of Leroy Carter, I think we're going to be in good shape. Listen, if they can get rid of Leroy Carter, God peace to them. But I don't know if I'm going to expect that, right? Just because he's on a guaranteed deal and he played so bad last year. And I've told you guys before, there have been players that have had bad first years with teams that actually have turned it around. Maybe Leroy Carter can be that. I'm not saying that he will. I don't have faith that he will, but maybe. When do you think the next trade will happen? Hey, bro, I don't even know. I had no idea that a trade was going to go down yesterday. If you would have given me 12 guesses on the Bulls making a trade, I wouldn't have picked yesterday for them to go down. So I have no idea when the next trade is going to go down, bro. Hard as it may be, I wish we could get rid of Vooch. I mean, if you listen to Casey Johnson, he says the Bulls are shopping Vooch and are open to trading him in the right deal. What that right deal is, that remains to be seen, but we'll see what comes down to that. Mac Play 2K says, who do you think the Bulls should draft? I'm a Khalil Ware guy. I already liked Khalil Ware at the beginning of this draft process, but I've done nothing but like him more as I've seen like the draft workouts and things like that. As those motor concerns that plagued him kind of gone away, I think Khalil Ware is a great option for the Chicago Bulls. So I just know that Billy Donovan's going to be tripping with his trusted veterans leaving. Hey, listen, Billy Donovan's probably somewhere sweet. That boy's shaking like booty meat. Josh Giddey requested a trade after Sam Presti wanted to turn him into Manu Ginobili. Yeah, I mean, okay. All right. Cool. He's here now. It is what it is. Love AC. Wanted to keep him, but I'm a Bulls fan, and let's run with the youngins now and the draft pick at number 11. I feel you, Rob. Definitely feel you. Volcano asked, do you think the DeRozan stays? I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. I have no inclination on that. I've heard things both ways as far as DeMar DeRozan leaving and staying. We'll see. I would want us to go for Clint, but don't think the Hawks would want Vooch. Listen, why at this point, why go for Clint? If we're going younger, why keep aging players around? I mean, yes, he's expiring a year before Vooch, and that could do something, but we don't see it. Vooch, Io, Carter, and this year's 11. If you think you're getting Brandon Ingram for that, my brother MC, and I know you're smart, I'm not coming at you that way. You high right now, bro. And the Bulls, I don't think are looking to trade Io DeSumo. I just don't. Not while he's on this reasonable deal. I don't think so. And again, trading for Brandon Ingram is the type of trade you make if you planned on keeping your veterans around. That's a move to me that you make to try to push for the playoffs. We don't know if that's what the Bulls are doing. If they are, it's not a bad move. I don't know if the Pelicans would take it, but I just don't think that they're aiming for that. I think they're aiming to have a young team that's going to be scrappy, and they're going to say they're trying to win games, but I think this is going to be a team that's naturally probably going to bottom out right outside the play-in. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm here. A lot of fans mad about the Giddy, but we can't judge an unfinished product. It's more moves to be made, and I want to get Walker Kessler. Listen, I Khalil Ware is a better overall prospect than Walker Kessler to me. I get what you're getting at with that, and maybe the Bulls go a different position like a Terrence Shannon Jr. or whatever. But to me, if you're going to go center, you want a center for the future. Why get a player who is up off their rookie contract in another? They got next season and the season after when you can get a full scale rookie deal for a player with more upside. That's just my opinion, but I see what you're getting at. We'll see. Does Pat Will become a trade piece if he doesn't improve this year? Possibly. I think it depends on what the deal looks like for Patrick Williams, because if they do end up spending a bag on Patrick Williams, like 16 to 18 million, that may become a deal that's tough to move if he doesn't step up. So keep in mind, it's hard to trade players if they don't improve, right? And then if they do improve, do they improve enough to where you want to keep them? But we'll see. We'll see. MC says, I'm just saying I'm not completely sold the Bulls are rebuilding until the vets are gone. Oh, feel you. 100%. And we'd be crazy to say that for sure. That's why I keep wording it as it looks like they're going in a direction, because we don't know. We're just going off basically one move so far. But they could very well make subsequent moves that change the outlook of that. So Zach LaVine next to be traded, that's a possibility for sure. And I think the Zach trade, what we do in the Zach trade, I think would give us a better indication of how young the Bulls are willing to go. But we'll see. We'll see. Juan says, what grade would you give Caruso if it was a Giddy in the first round? Oh, it'd get an A. It'd get an A if that was the case. But all right, y'all, I just wanted to give that quick update. Thank you, guys. You already know, number one spot for everything Chicago Bears. That too, but not on this channel. Number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Wanted to give you this quick update. Got the daily episode coming through tomorrow, man. I love you guys. Make sure you guys are following us at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. BullsCentralPod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799, with the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. Thanks to you guys. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See red if you can, y'all.